Mindfulness with Richard. I'm Richard Clarke. Welcome. This series focuses on mindfulness meditation. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Now, how has your meditation been in the last week, Doug?
Uh, Kind of hit and miss. I was traveling, so I got in some good meditations on the bus, the 7-hour bus ride.
Yes.
I did, but uh, not every day. A lot of days where I was in Guadalajara and I was just kind of busy and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Well, it's hard to keep up the regular schedule when you're in irregular traveling routine.
yeah, that's fact. Um, I was, and actually, and I missed the last session, the one before Thanksgiving. So
Uh-huh.
I was just this morning I was watching that on patience. I think that is such a good topic.
Yes.
It's such a good I've always thought of myself as a patient person, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not. I've just kind of been I've been kind of fooling myself, telling myself, oh, I'm not very patient. So it's something that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm. And mindfulness is a good thing to help you with that work because the mindfulness helps you, makes you more attentive to what's going on.
Oh yeah, I realize that. Yeah.
So anyway, it was good to see you last week. Barley, how about you? You're muted?
Am I okay now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I decided to mute because I never know when my dog will decide to bark. So
Yes.
I'll just mute
Well,
myself.
thank you.
Yeah. I have been concentrating on the walking meditation. And I think, Richard, you said, think about your feet,
Yes.
how they feel and move. And that's been helpful because I know my mind keeps thinking. I try to stop and then I just walk. So yeah,
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's something that I've used beneficially for 35 years. So it is actually my most consistent, longest lived process. And I started to do it before I knew that I was practicing mindfulness. I just fell into it somehow naturally as I was trying to deal with emotional turmoil in my own life. And it's just something I discovered accidentally in the dark morning in San Jose. While I was doing that kind of mindful walking in San Jose, I ended up accidentally meeting the Dalai Lama.
Oh, wow.
He was in town for some program at San Jose State and staying at a nearby hotel, and I was walking in the route between his hotel and the college campus, and three guys in these Tibetan roads came the other way on a narrow street, and to make room for me to pass, the Dalai Lama stepped into the gutter to let me pass, and it impressed me the humility of the man.
Did he just radiate though? Did he radiate?
No, well, he looked peaceful as he was walking along, but anyway, it was I felt a real good introduction to him.
Amazing.
Anyway, how has your meditation been, Richard?
Realizing how full of me it is.
Yes. Yes. certainly, sometimes when I meditate, I still get a chance to see how the mind just goes off on these different fantasies,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it creates some reality, and then you can notice it and pull back to, where you are,
Yeah,
and to,
the blessing is in noticing it. Yeah.
yes. Anyway, those are still good things to see, Richard, because if you don't see them, then there is nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let the grace shine, because there's nothing that I can do anyway, and just
Yes,
may the grace come in.
yes. Okay, so here, then let us start with a few minutes of meditation. Mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. Relax. Look for joy in the moment. Let experiences and thoughts come, let them be, let them go. As we enter into meditation, we'll use a gradual process to start. This is a 4-stage start to awareness of the feeling of your breath. It uses your attention where you focus on the object of meditation, and it uses another mental network, your peripheral awareness, and it is also active. It's your awareness outside of the focus. It is awareness of the background. You become present, then focus on body sensations, then breathing sensations, and then the breath. So let us start. Now, first, take your seat, your meditation position, where you can be comfortable and still. And start by closing your eyes and taking a few moments to become fully present. Take in everything presented by your senses. Be present here and now. Notice your senses, body sensations, mental activity. Disregard any thought that does not have to do with the present moment. Once you've become fully present with every kind of sensory stimulus, limit your attention to body sensations. Let everything else slip into the background of peripheral awareness. Nothing should be suppressed from your field of conscious awareness. Pay attention to your body sensations. And as you quietly observe body sensations, your attention naturally moves to the movement of your breathing. Pay attention to the breath-related sensations like the expansion and contraction of your chest as you breathe. Without restricting anything else in your field of conscious awareness, restrict your attention, your focus to these breath-related sensations. Now, focus on the breath sensations at your nose or in your belly. Find where it is the clearest. Do not follow the breath, but keep your attention here. This is your primary meditation object. Maintain peripheral awareness in the background. Nothing is excluded. All right. Now, today I want to talk about beginner's mind. This is one of the essential attitudes of mindfulness. And this is one of Jon Kabat-Zinn's 7 attributes that form a foundation for mindfulness. These are non-judging, patience, beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. I've discussed non-judging, patience, and trust. This week is beginner's mind. What is beginner's mind? Henry David Thoreau observed, "I begin to see an object when I cease to understand it." While as young children we naturally live the questions, as poet Rilke wrote, as adults, though, we've come to assume the answers. We find it difficult to sit with the ambiguity of not knowing. The "I know" syndrome plagues us, hindering curiosity, and curiosity is a precursor to creativity. The solution to the "I know" pattern, the mind of the so-called expert, is to adopt what is called in Zen Buddhism beginner's mind. A beginner's mind is empty. That is, it holds no preconceived ideas or rules about what is. It is open, eager, and receptive. Zen teacher Suzuki writes, "If your mind is empty, it's always ready for anything. It is open to everything." In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. Beginner's mind invites you to approach studies, habits, and exercises with eagerness and open-mindedness. Beginner's mind invites you to go into ventures and activities without preconceptions, as a beginner might, even, and this is important, even in familiar situations. The term beginner's mind refers to a paradox. The more you know about a topic, the more likely you are to close your mind to further learning. This points to an open-mindedness that can allow us to learn new skills, make better decisions, and be more empathetic. Developing a beginner's mind is all about freeing ourselves from preconceived expectations about what should happen next, and by doing so, reducing the risk of stress or disappointment. This relates strongly to meditation, which relies on us approaching each session with complete openness and avoiding expectations or preconceptions. A pillar of this is observing whatever arises in consciousness without judgment or comment, and instead of following it, to simply let it go. The principles of beginner's mind can be implemented naturally outside the world of meditation. By being more open, receptive, and curious in our daily lives, we can unlock deeper creativity, flexibility. So, what are the characteristics of a beginner mind? First is openness. This is being open to seeing different perspectives and experiencing new things. An attitude of openness means resisting any urge to dismiss other people's opinions or to just agree with them. We are more open to the wonder and joy of the moment. Flexibility. By using the willingness to learn that defines children's minds, a beginner's mind is ready to adapt to unexpected events and situations. Curiosity. Curiosity encourages us to explore new subjects, ask questions, and seek answers. The key to curiosity is the attitude, don't know. Having a curious mind means digging a little deeper into how things really work and trying to understand what is behind it. Acceptance. Acknowledging and accepting people's differences is crucial to developing a beginner's perspective. When we attempt to accept and understand opinions that are different from our own, we reduce feelings of frustration, anger, or confusion towards others. We also gain knowledge about ourselves. And then there's non-attachment. When you have a beginner's mind, you're not attached to any preconceived ideas or opinions. You don't judge things as good or bad. Instead, you see them simply as they are people and encounter current life circumstances without judgment. You don't spend time and energy fighting against things. Rather, you accept what is there and focus on what's within your control. What you can control is within yourself. Now, our psychology can hold us back. There are mental habits that stand in the way enough that we don't even notice them. Mindfulness teaches how to notice these kind of habits. The first is confirmation bias. One of the biggest obstacles in the way of developing a beginner's mind is this confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek evidence that supports rather than contradicts our existing views. When our beliefs influence which information we choose to believe and why, we are prone to ignoring facts that contradict our opinions. Thus, we are less likely to make well-informed decisions. To combat confirmation bias, when you have an expert mind, you actually need to pay more attention, noticing our thought processes and asking questions like, how did I come to this conclusion? Can I prove this belief? Do I fully understand this issue? Or what if I am wrong? We can take control of our mind and prevent our habits from making decisions for us. The next is the curse of knowledge. By the time we reach adulthood, our brains have been hardwired for certain ways of thinking due to years of knowledge and experience. While this can be useful in demonstrating expertise in certain subjects, it also means we may struggle to look outside of our own experience and knowledge when approaching problems. So knowledge can limit our approach. There are two common traps we can fall into. The first is the expert trap. I think that's one I've fallen into many times myself. This is the trap of thinking we know. One problem with this mindset is we get stuck inside our own heads internally instead of reaching out to people who could help solve our problems. The other problem is If you know, then you stop looking for new answers. If we don't value our don't know mind and act like a true beginner, our opportunities for learning increase. The next trap is the problem solver trap, and we are programmed to solve problems. This can work sometimes against us, though. When we're faced to an issue, we can go straight into a problem-solving mindset without taking time to fully understand what is present in front of us. Looking for solutions in this way can prevent us from realizing that maybe this supposed problem doesn't need to be fixed at all, only put in a different perspective. Now, how do you rediscover your beginner's mind? Cultivating a beginner's mind takes time and effort. It means chipping away at behaviors and habits you've learned throughout your life. Here are some approaches you can take towards rediscovering beginner's mind. The first is what we're doing here, meditation practice. And the most common route toward developing a beginner's mind is through these meditation practices, such as mindfulness. Anchored in the present moment rather than past memories and future worries, these practices encourage us to look internally and to recognize negative or judgmental patterns of thought and emotion. This can help us note our typical triggers and automatic reactions that cause us to react negatively to events without fully realizing why we feel angry, sad, or scared. By gaining insight into these internal processes, we can learn to respond differently, to make new choices. The other thing you can do is to practice the don't know mindset. Sometimes the best thing you can do is to say, I don't know. When we get used to admitting that we're unsure about things, we increase our ability to handle uncertainty. Ultimately, if you truly believe you know how to solve a problem, you'll attempt to force your solution without considering other options. So the don't know mindset is a way around this. Here are 5 tips for cultivating a beginner's mind. The first is to clear your mind. Before approaching a new task or study, try emptying your mind of previous judgments or conceptions of the coming task or topic you'll be exploring. You can do this with a quick meditation. Find a comfortable position and take several deep breaths with your eyes closed. Once at ease, open your eyes and approach your. The next is to observe how children approach new activities. If you have younger relatives or friends with small children, watch how they engage with new activities, whether it's biking, building a fort, or even taking first steps. A wide-eyed approach can be freeing and offer a new perspective that still steers clear of cynicism or expertise. The next is to let go of your ego. The beginner's mind is a humbling experience. It necessitates clearing your mind may color your experience. Ask questions and find comfort in not having all the right answers. Enjoy the long ride as opposed to the sprint towards immediate clarity. Engage curiosity instead of operating on autopilot or completed in the ways you've normally done them. Shake up routines and lead from a place of. And the last is to go one step at a time. The beginner's mind rewards slowness, so there is no need to rush to the next stage or level of your journey when learning a new skill. Stay in the present moment as opposed to constantly planning for the future. To conclude, we have much to gain from abandoning our preconceptions and approaching life as though we know nothing. Developing a beginner's mind may take practice, but by hacking away at our conditioning, we can find again the wonder, appreciation, and thirst for knowledge that makes the child's view of the world so awe-inspiring. Shift yourself out of autopilot. View the world with an open mind and embrace the senses. If we practice the techniques in meditation and in life in our mind and experience all the benefits that come with it. And now we'll have a video from Jon Kabat-Zinn on Naturally Beginner's Mind.
Is a lovely orientation to bring always fresh, always new. We've never been attitudes and desire the first time. Imagine ideas and opinions about the amazing nature of them. Sometimes we're so expert, our expertise for novelty or very few possibilities, but in the possibilities because we come to it fresh. I do not be so stuck in our ideas and opinions about the outcome of a particular situation. It actually, again, has tremendous with them and recognized and met experience. And it also benefits us.
And now we will meditate again. And this time I'm going to give you a guided meditation on beginner's mind. Come into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and notice your body and how it comes into contact with where you sit. Notice how this feels. Pay attention without expectation. Begin to deepen your breath. Feel the breath as it comes in and leaves your body. Take a full breath in from the tip of your nose to your belly. Breathe out. As you empty your belly, imagine that all your expectations, preconceived notions, distractions, judgments, comparisons, and assumptions are leaving your mind and heart and body. Feel the full breath out. Pay attention to your breath as if for the first time. Notice how the in-breath feels in your nostril, the temperature, the texture. Notice how it flows down your throat into your lungs and belly. Notice how it fills your belly just like a balloon. Notice what this feels like. Just let it come and go. As you exhale, release all your expectations and thoughts and sensations with the breath. Notice free, unattached. When you take your next breath, pay attention as if it is the very first time you are inhaling. Notice how this breath carries the energy of life into you. As you exhale, notice as if for the first time what it feels like to empty yourself completely. Tune into the sensations in your body. What kind of sensations, and feel them in your body. Be curious without judgment. Be compassionately aware. Feel the clothes on your skin, your hands resting on your lap. What do you feel? What is the temperature, the pressure, the texture? How do these sensations reside in your body? Feel these experiences as if for the first time. What arises in your consciousness? Take a moment as if this is the first time you are tuned into your body. And keeping your eyes closed, listen to the sounds around you. How do the sounds you are hearing feel in your body? Notice sound as if for the first time. Listen as a child would, open to the possibilities. Don't be attached or burdened by expectations or routines or sameness. Let yourself listen with fresh ears, with curiosity and compassionate awareness. Take a moment to notice other sensations. Notice whatever is present without expectations, assumptions, or comparison. Practice being curious, open, and receptive. Breathe into the experience as if for the first time. And now settle into the present moment. Allow whatever emotion or thought that arises to just flow through you without judging it. Aware and non-attached to your thoughts or emotions. Notice how they come and go like waves or clouds. Notice how you can come back into the present moment with a beginner's mind, curious, non-judgmental, compassionate, and free of expectations. Pay attention to any awareness or awakening happening within you now, in this moment. The energy of the life force is flowing through your body. Now, let's return your consciousness back to the room that you're in. Take a deep breath, filling your belly. Long exhale, emptying your belly. And slowly bring your awareness back into the room. And as you return to your day, see if you can use a beginner's mind as much as possible in your experiences or interactions. And next time you prepare for any kind of activity, you can practice this meditation to help you into a beginner's mind. All right. Now let's conclude with a chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Any questions or discussions? Are you ready to start anew?
I think does this mean that we're always into beginner's mind? That it's good. It's where we want to be, beginners,
Right.
always. Okay. It reminded me of studying martial arts, where we would always go back to perfecting unit 1.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
And certainly for me, when I think about this stuff, I notice that one of the particular problems that I have sometimes with beginner's mind is this silly idea that I know about it already.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been studying it so long, but humbling.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it's not at all what I thought it might be.
Right, me either.
When it was first mentioned as one of the attitudes, beginner's mind, I was thinking, well, now what in the world is that? And it did not, it wasn't at all this. Um, but I can, but I think this is good. It's, it's like an open mind
Yes.
and getting rid of our blocks.
Yes. And again, to me, it's funny that our blocks in this are, uh, how much we think we know.
Yeah,
And I also know for me, one of the other blocks that I have is the wanting to solve problems. I know that has been a problem that I have had often when I am presented with something by my wife Carol, that I have a tendency to want to see it as a problem that I need to fix instead of just something that I need to listen to and be aware of and be receptive to.
Hmm. Hmm. Being a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Nice.
And I've had problems being a good listener because I feel like I know what they're talking about, and so let me just get to the end and go on. And it turns out that's not a good attitude.
Well, maybe that's something that as you were growing up and becoming a man, you thought that was part of your role is to
Uh-huh.
solve problems.
Maybe. It's just a bad habit.
Mm. Mm. Well, it was nice to learn about beginner's mind. I agree
Okay.
that.
Well, anyway, it was another good session, I think, and
Well,
um,
definitely.
I'm so happy to see you guys here and that you are continuing with the practice. You know, it really is an important thing for the long term.
Great.
So, namaste, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you much.